Hey everybody. It is 9:30 p.m. on November 15th, 2017, and I've been sitting here for a couple minutes trying to make myself hit the record button. Um, but this is something that I've been thinking about doing for. Sorry, I'm not always looking at the camera. Feels weird. This is something I've been thinking about doing for a while, and it's not easy, but it's good. And I think it's good for me to do it um, in a bunch of different ways. Um, I want to put a video out, and I'm not going to make it real long, but it's a little bit long, I'm sure. You won't see this until what will be tomorrow from this point on what will be my 1 year anniversary of making the decision um, to stop drinking alcohol. Um, so 365 days under my belt of not drinking alcohol, and um, in some ways, I guess that could be like a something I keep private and not do something like this, putting out a video. But many of you saw a video that I put out, or the health department put out, of me talking about my story many months ago. It was probably early summer, late spring. So I want to follow it up with a little bit of a video um, talking about my journey a little bit, what it's been like, and so I'll just get straight to it. So for 1 year now, um, I've been working on trying to figure out who I am, trying to figure out how to be a better person, how to um, not just for myself, but for my family, for my employer. And what you see behind me is my very junky, dirty office. Sorry, that's just the way it is. I like it to be clean, but I don't have the time to always keep it clean. So life is busy, but it's good. Um, so my journey, many of you know, I made the decision to put myself into rehabilitation care last year this time, to try to get better, try to figure out what in the world is going on with my life, that I thought I could control and could figure out, but really had to come to the realization that I didn't know what I was doing anymore. I didn't. Um, I didn't have everything figured out, and it was becoming very obvious that I was hurting myself and ruining my life. So anyway, I was in there for 22 days. Got out a little bit early for insurance reasons. Came home, and immediately that night went to an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. Um, didn't know what to think. Just had high hopes. Was immediately met by some pretty great people that today I call my really good friends, and support in so many different ways. Throughout that time, I've learned a lot of things about myself. Some of them I didn't like, and some of them I didn't yet believe. But all those things have been really good lessons for me that have helped me to focus more on my responsibility in life, on my character, on my just getting better, and just trying to do the next right thing. You hear a lot of cliche sayings when you're in a recovery environment like that, but you come to understand that they're very meaningful, that they're very true, and that if you if I just take what I can from them and try to grow a little bit, really enjoy what happens. So my commitment initially was to do what they call 90 meetings in 90 days, or 90 and 90 is what we call it. And didn't really know what I was going to do from there on out. Didn't really have a plan. And after about 90 days of being in there, I started to see that it was extremely beneficial, and it was really starting to help me focus more on my flaws, on my defects as a person, and how I can do better. Don't get me wrong, I didn't think I was a total terrible person or anything, but there's just obvious things in my life I could do better at. And for the first time, I was really starting to do something about it, at whatever that cost may be. Just listen to somebody else about what I could do better. It's been a pretty amazing year. I obviously have been in there much longer than 90 days. I haven't gone every day, but just about. I would say there's, with vacation and being a dad and a husband, you miss some meetings, as you should, as I should put family first. But I've been to, I don't even know the number, but I would say 340 to 45 meetings in this past year. And it's been awesome. It's been really awesome. I also go to Celebrate Recovery on Friday evenings at Faith Evangelical Free Church in Mountain Lake Park. That has been really great. It's really helped me spiritually also, to look at more of my relationship with God, and just where I can do better with that. And I am by no means anywhere near what I'd like to be, but God is growing me, and it's been pretty great. And in those programs, I've been able to participate, obviously, as someone just attending and listening and sharing, but also over time getting the chance to teach, getting the chances to chair meetings, getting the chances to share my story many times, whether that was with and through the health department and their programs, or with Celebrate Recovery, or at Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous meetings, and even visiting local recovery centers a couple times. And I don't say that as like a way to like lift myself up or anything, because totally is not what happens when I do that. What happens is I start to see a little bit more about myself that I can improve, and I grow from those things because they're uncomfortable, and because they stretch me, and because they force me to talk about things about myself I don't really like to think about often or work on very often. And that's, the human side of me that has flaws and has sin and has the ability to make better decisions a lot of times. And so anyway, I have a lot of people that I'm grateful for today. First and foremost, for God. And I mean that without my relationship with God, I would not. For me, I would not have what I have today at all. And that has a lot of room to grow, but it has grown a lot in this past year in ways that I just never was making progress in before. And I've learned so much more about myself and how much God cares about me, even to the finest details of my life and decisions that I make. And how I treat other people, how I treat myself, what I think of myself, and just the realization that He wants better for me. So I do thank God first, and I recognize that without Him, I wouldn't have the success I have, first and foremost. Now, also my family, my wife. I don't deserve, period, what I have today in a wife. But I'm so grateful to God Amy, for the fear that she's endured, the personal struggles that come with being the wife of an alcoholic, who's you just never know if I'm going to go crazy again, or if I'm going to slip up and stuff like that. So she deals with a lot of fear, and it's amazing how she stuck by my side when she's sometimes maybe even had no desire to, or didn't know where the strength was going to come from. And she has a lot of friends that have helped her with that, and tried to be open with her about what this is like and what we're facing. And not all of it's been fun to hear, I'm sure, but we've been able to have very honest, very open, very frank, very clear conversations about what's going on, and it's been great. And we've grown through this in a lot of really cool ways. My kids, I still don't understand the magnitude of what my kids have had to feel, of what they've had to see and learn, unfortunately, about real life, that some kids don't ever have to see. But I'm grateful that they are seeing this side of this, where I've accepted my wrongs, where I'm trying to own up to them and do better. And our relationship has grown in a lot of ways. It's so fun to be a dad. That is so rewarding. So I appreciate everything that's happened with my kids, and how our relationships have grown in more real ways. So I'm sure there will be more obstacles to face, and I just hope I can continue to be the dad I should be for them. For everybody at Celebrate Recovery, for everybody in my church, and for those in the church that I attended at Crossroads for some time, how encouraging they've been to me. Extremely important part of my life. Very, very, very sensitive time that I was going through, and they were very accepting, very loving, very open, and we're just there for me. My church family at Pleasant View, what they've endured in my craziness, of not knowing where I was going to be from one minute to the next, and what's going on with Matt, and now we're back there, trying to heal that relationship and move on as a church family. And I appreciate them accepting us back in, and seeing where this goes, with some faith in God and some extension of trust in us. I appreciate everybody at the Liberty Club in Oakland. I've made some really amazing friends there, and some very powerful relationships, and accountability through that group of people. And since it's an anonymous program, we will not be saying any names, but you know who you are, and I really appreciate you guys, love you guys, and everything that you've put into my life, just through your sharing, through your advice, through your just living it out. And I've seen good examples, many, many, many good examples, and I've seen some lessons. Through some people, we've lost some people to addiction, and that's been pretty interesting and tough, and so very difficult to see that real side of recovery. been to more funerals than I would like to have been to. Don't really want to go to one, but uh, we've been to a few. We've lost a few, and those lessons have taught me that this is real. That this is not something to play with. That um, it's waiting for me if I decide to quit trying and quit giving my life over to God. Um, it's out there, and I don't want that today. I just I want the normal things that most people have: a functional, normal life full of feelings, full of highs, full of lows, full of emotions, and relationships, good ones, bad ones sometimes. Um, but I want everything that life has to offer. And in this past year, I've learned um, that accepting life the way that God delivers it to me is exactly what I'm supposed to do. And I may not always know how to do that. I may not know what to do when, how to react, how to, you want to say in certain situations, but I can rest in the fact that God has me exactly where He knew I would be, and He still loves me, and His mercy is new for me every single day, and He has a future for me that is full of hope, that is ultimately at the end of this life a home for me with Him, and I look forward to that day. But until then, um, I I want the best of what He has for me today, and uh, I thought I felt that way many times in life, and it's it's interesting what you learn about yourself. Where I thought I had certain convictions and certain feelings about God, about my relationship with God, only to learn that they they weren't what I thought they were, um, and that was not a problem ever with God, but with me. And but yet, He's patient. He's good. He's always good. One of my favorite songs right now is out by that's out is by Elevation Worship, called "Do It Again," and it says that you've never failed me yet. He's never failed me yet, and it says that I've seen Him move mountains, and that I'll see Him do it again. And that's what I look forward to in life today, is just seeing God move more mountains, and make me a better person. I'll never be perfect. I'm going to keep messing up. I'm going to keep uh, probably hurting people, probably disappointing people, maybe not living up to their expectations. Maybe not even living up to my own expectations or desires for what I want in life. But hey, this video is 18 and a half minutes long already, and I don't want to make it a whole lot longer. I just wanted to say I really appreciate everyone. From the bottom of my heart, I'm eternally grateful for you. For my boss, Paul, who, sorry, I said your name, who has um, kept faith in me, or maybe just sometimes in what God can do in me. Um, and I still have a job. And more than that, I have someone who really cares about me, who has looked for every opportunity to try to provide for me and my family, selflessly, and that I can never repay. And but I am very, very grateful for everything that He's done for me, and for my family, outside of my home, my parents, my dad, who took me in um, when I was first starting this journey, um, and learning how to physically, just starting the physical escape from my addiction, um, and taking me to rehab. Um, he would have picked me up, but I snuck home on him and tried to surprise everybody, and they were all like, "What are you doing home?" But that's cool. Anyway, I love you guys. I love everybody who sends me messages, who supports me, who comments on things, who pats me on the back, who um, sees good in me and calls it out. And I appreciate those who see things in me that aren't so good, and who try to help me grow. Um, I appreciate so many people, and I know I'm not going to say your names in here, and I'm really sorry, but you know me. I do life with you, and I will continue to tell you how much you mean to me. And I hope to honor all that you guys have done to try to help me get better and be used of God to help some other people. So thanks for sticking with me for 21 minutes. Love you guys, and looking forward to what's next. Have a good day.